Welcome to Crankworx World Tour.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That equation in Rotorua saw Australia's Caroline Buchanan ride away with the victory. The reaction in Leger, reigning Pump Track Series champ Jill Kittner bounced back for a definitive win. He may have the series title, but Adrien Laurent hadn't figured out the first place formula since 2015. That all changed in Leger when the French rider put the pieces together to win on home soil. The physics here today are seductively simple. Up plus down, weight plus unweight, win and advance. Welcome to Crankworx Innsbruck. The Raiffeisen Club Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox begins now.
This is what it's all about. The place to be, Crankworx World Tour. Here we go.
Several dimensions are shaping victories.
1080, stomping it. Oh, perfect execution.
The best mountain bike riders on earth.
Check the time here. Can he keep it up? He enters the final straightaway. He does! Oh! Just barely too short.
One queen and one king will claim the title of best all-around mountain biker on the planet.
Welcome to Innsbruck, Austria, site of your Crankworx World Tour. Stop number 3 right here at your Raiffeisen Club Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Brad J. standing by, Andrew Needling. Needles, tell me about something here. 2 different winners on the men, 2 different winners on the ladies with 2 different events. Why is that, man?
Well, that's the great thing about Pump Track. Amazingly unique courses at all these different venues, and they suit different riders. So that adds up to a guy with a little bit of advantage. The courses are also really short. So if you make a small mistake, that's the race gone.
Well, let's talk about specifics when it comes to riders. One guy, if you talk about Pump Track, he's synonymous, Adrien Laurent. What do you got to say about him?
Well, Adrien, the king of consistency. He won a title without even winning a race in that year. But he bounced back after not winning since 2015 to take a big win in Leger last week.
Well, speaking of Adrien Laurent, speaking of that win, he did it on home soil, and this is what Adrien Laurent had to say about competing on home soil.
All my family is coming, watching, all my friends.
All right, Adrien Laurent on the right. Could it be second place for him again, or will it be at first place?
I have to take care of my stress and their stress. So it's something hard to do, but at the same time it's such a good feeling to compete in front of your family and your friends.
He really needs to fight here. It looks like he's got a wheel ahead. He's going to take his win.
He's done it! Adrien Laurent on home soil has taken the gold medal out here today. Crankworx is a world tour, so when you talk about Pump Track, you got to talk about the Pump Track Series stand-in. You see your top 5 right there. Cheney Guinea, he's in 5th place. Barry Noble's in 4th. Mitch Pilato 3rd. Keegan Wright with a win in Rotorua. He's in that 2nd spot. Adrien Laurent fresh off a win out there in Leger. But let's talk about this next gentleman right here. He's dressed to the T. We're talking about Mitch Pilato.
He might be one of the most naturally gifted riders on a bike and pump track. He can do lines that no one else can, and you're going to see that tonight with some of these options on this track.
Well, Mitch Pilato amazing, but so is Keegan Wright. He's already got a win this season.
He's downright racer style. That underdog in Rotorua, he came out, he took the win on home soil. Let's see what he can do here tonight.
All right, well, let's talk about the wild card. That's Martin Soderstrom. He's back. He's good at this, but he hasn't competed in it in a couple years.
He hasn't, but he's booming with confidence. He took a 2nd in dual speed and style last night. He also spends a lot of time on that hard time that plays into his favor here in the pump track.
Well, let's talk about the women. And when you talk about women of Crankworx, you got to talk about Jill Kittner.
We seem to be speaking about the same two, day in, day out. Jill Kittner, amazing talent on the bike that we know. She's also coming with a bit of confidence because she was managed to take that win last week in Leger, but we cannot count out Caroline Buchanan, can we?
No, you cannot count out Caroline Buchanan because she got the first win in Rotorua.
I have a sneaky feeling we're going to see that matchup again, but I don't want to speak too soon.
Well, you look at Jill, you look at Caroline, and I see a rivalry coming across with those two.
Let's talk rivalry. We had the final we'd all been waiting for. Buchanan in the black, the sleeveless, coming out hot, taking down the title away from Jill Kittner and taking that win in Rotorua.
A big surprise right there, but Leger last week, what happened?
This time Jill in the black t-shirt. She came out really smooth out the gate. She wanted that win. She wants to get back that Queen of Pump Track title that she had last year. She was flying down this final straight.
Oh, don't let her fool you. She wants to win that thing all the way through, and she got the payback right there. She lost it in Rotorua. She took care of business in Leger. So this is how things are looking right now. Oh, yeah, 250. They're knotted in a two-way tie. Caroline Buchanan and Jill Kittner with 250 points apiece. This one is going to be real important. Indeed, important is what we talk about when we talk about how important it is, because here we go, stop number 3, and this is where all the money's coming down to on this one before we get to Whistler. But when you talk pump trap, tell me a little bit about how this format breaks down, Needles.
And the format, no chains allowed. Minimum 26-inch wheels. It's a time trial qualified format. We get top 16 men, the top 8 women. We're going to watch those brackets. Then, obviously, it's a head-to-head format. There's 2 runs, 2 courses. We're going to combine those times for a total time, and the fastest guy is going to go ahead.
And if you're on the leaderboard, well, there you go. You got Mitch Pilato third, Keegan Wright number 2, Adrian Lerone in that top spot for the series lead. And for the women, Manon Carpenter in that third spot. Jill Kittner locked in a two-way tie with Caroline Buchanan for the series in pump track. Well, you know, we talk about the picturesque part of Innsbruck, Austria, and Needles, it is such a picturesque place being out here, right?
Unbelievable. I mean, you've got a huge city, but it's surrounded by mountains. It's unbelievable. I'll say that again.
And you look at what they're doing out here and bringing Crankworx. That means they've invested in biking in the future here in Innsbruck, and they really know what it's all about out here.
They do. I've obviously been here before for the Norketta race. Now, Innsbruck Bike Park, they're developing on a daily basis, and I know tourism's getting involved, and you're going to have just an amazing mountain bike mecca starting today already, but I know it's only going to grow.
It's only going to grow. It is definitely on the come up. There's your conditions for today right there. Look at things going on, and the crowd is coming in. I tell you what, for a first stop ever here in Innsbruck, Austria, this crowd is representing. They have come out, they mean business, and they want to see all the action get thrown down. So we started with 32. We got the round of 16. That's right. We're getting the guys locked and loaded. They're going to be coming in your way. Then they'll be followed by the women coming up after that. So don't go anywhere. Crankworx, Innsbruck, Austria. This is the place to be.
We're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new Sram GX Eagle drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are, or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle. The new Pike is lighter with an all-new trail-focused chassis. Gives you more control with its new Charger 2 damper and new remote options for ultimate efficiency. Feels more supple with its new debonair spring, is stiffer for better steering authority and offers increased tire compatibility. This is the new Pike, an even better benchmark.
Crankworx Innsbruck, brought to you by Innsbruck T-Roll. Bike City Innsbruck, the Alpine Urban Lifestyle Experience. Couldn't ask for a better evening, Needles, to get our pump track action on. The wind has backed down, the weather is perfect, and it's perfect for some competition, isn't it?
It's ideal conditions. And we've whittled them down to the round of 16. Some of the best riders in the world at pump track that we're going to see tonight.
So right now, Channy Guenet, you can see him, the French rider. He is on the left in that green and black. And then you see right there, Tom Scherer from Germany. He's in all black on the right. Here we go, first race underway.
Chaney in our rider's right. Like we said, we saw him in Leger with his short shorts, but that doesn't slow him down. He was our fastest qualifier here. So all things fair, he should be moving on here because he's obviously qualified fastest, showing some speed on the track, but short course, anything can happen.
Wow.
We'll re-rack him for the second round.
Yeah, 0.58 is going to be the difference that Scherer is going to have to make up on that one. But Chaney, you know, he's done it before. He took a big win in Leger in 2016, but he's not won it since then. So here's the brackets for today for your round of 16. Chaney Guenet, now keep an eye on the yellow. When their name is in yellow, that means they already have the advantage after the first race. So when they go at it again, the other rider has to make up the difference. And speaking of riders, the big Swede is back. Martin Soderstrom, you can see him. He's on the left in that red shirt, the Red Bull helmet. Benedict Last, he is on the right in that black kit right there, Needles.
Yeah, Benedict Last does not want to live up to his name here. Martin Soderstrom, little bobble out the gate. Obviously, they're not using any change, so they've got to make it up by pumping. That's all they can do. He's got to keep his wits together here. He wants to push through, push hard, but he's behind.
Look at this. Benedict Last. Benedict Last, the winner there by 0.77 over that big Swede now.
It is quite a gap to have over Martin Soderstrom. 0.7 on pump track, it's kind of like a mile out there in the normal world.
And Martin hasn't competed in pump track in a while, but I mean, he is a guy who's podiumed in the past in pump track, so maybe he could change things up. Now we go Kyle Strait. Now Kyle Strait had a rough outing in Leger in dual speed and style. Let me show you what happened here to Kyle Strait. This one gets pretty ugly.
Yeah, so obviously the dual speed and style, two riders on their own course. Man, but his competitor having a mishap with a backflip, having to eject, but he ejected straight into Kyle Strait. And as you see, took his full body weight on that knee. That he's obviously strapped there, Brad.
And that knocked Kyle Strait out of the mix. Now we got Kyle Strait going against Matt Walker. Matt Walker in that green on the right, Kyle Strait on the left in that black shirt.
Yeah, free racer, slopestyle extraordinaire against the racer BMX background of Matt Walker. All things fair and fair. They both got a lot of experience out here on the racetrack. It's looking neck and neck till now. They're coming down the last straight. Kyle Strait edging him out for the first round.
Kyle Strait down the straight with the win on their first matchup, but not by much. Matt Walker is quite good at this, but 0.18 is what he's got to make up, and that's pretty small potatoes right there.
That is, and we're still waiting to hear which course. Sometimes there's obviously a bit of an advantage on one of the courses, but it's great to see Kyle Strait back here to sit out of dual speed and style. We'll head it back to Keegan Wright, winner at round 1 in Rotorua.
Wow, he looks pressured, right? Keegan Wright there on the left this time. He's got the red helmet on. Barry Nobles, Means Business, all in black on the right. There's Nobles looking at right there. Keegan kind of staring him down on this one. Here we go. Who's going to get the snap out of the gate?
Oh, Barry Noble's looking to get some extra speed with the, I don't know what we call that, the slippery salmon technique. Barry Nobles and Keegan Wright, they're no stranger to the podium here. To see them match up in the round of 16 is a surprise to me.
And Barry Nobles, he's going to have the advantage over Keegan Wright, 0.33. Remember, Keegan Wright won it in Rotorua early in the season. Now, Barry Nobles has never won a pump track challenge. Could he do it here today? Next up, oh yeah, now we take a look at Mitch Pilato with the lead nose sitting on the left-hand side. I'm sorry, Noel Niebuhr from Switzerland on the right here. This is a tough one to call.
It is. I remember my first Lederhosen at the Oktoberfest, but I don't remember a lot of that outing. Anyway, back to the racing and Noel Niederberg. No slouch on a pump track, rides a lot of Velo Solutions, tarmac pump tracks in Switzerland. Mitch Pilato in his Lederhosen. It's not slowing him down. He's going to edge out Noel, but not by much.
Oh, wait a minute. They're saying Noel has the edge by 0.02 on that one.
I apologize. It looked the other way around, but I mean, 0.02 is basically dead heat.
Yeah, that's a dead heat, like you said right there. Needles, good call on that. Mitch Pilato, you got to think, man, the movement in those leathers doesn't seem like that is going to help you out there, but
I had a pretty comfy week at Oktoberfest, I'm not going to lie.
You know what they say, commit to the kit. That's what he's doing out there. Cheney Gannett, he's in yellow, got the advantage. Benedict Glass, he's got the advantage over Martin. Kyle Strait, the advantage over Matt Walker. Nobles over Keegan Wright on that one, and Mitch Pilato's got a little bit of makeup to do against Noel. And now we look to the top tier. Next up, your favorite rider, Dakota Norton. You know, why is this guy so cool, right?
Well, he burst onto the scene at a Crankworx event, winning the slalom back in 2015. Put his name on the map, and since then he's kind of been trying to live the dream. Sponsors have come on board. It's great to see that stepping stone of Crankworx.
And that was the thing. A lot of people didn't know Dakota Norton when he showed up in Whistler. He came out and he really made a name for himself, and here he is today competing in the big show. So good to see it. Dakota Norton here on the left. You can see him. He's got the white helmet on, all black. Austin Warren, who did amazing in dual speed and style yesterday, he's on the right in that short sleeve shirt. Here we go.
Yeah, Austin Warren also did great in the Whipple, pushing hard here, wearing the Lumo gloves. Looks neck and neck here coming down the final straight. What can Dakota do? Can he push ahead?
Looks like he's doing it. Yeah, Dakota Norton gets across 0.1 over Austin.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the different options these guys use. There's things that you can jump, there's things that you can manual, you can kind of pump, you can stay on the ground the whole way. It's a great track, multiple options to ride fast.
Now we got the Slavic matchup. Now these guys are not related whatsoever. Thomas Slavic from the Czech Republic in that Red Bull helmet right there. You can see him in the Great Ghost shirt right there. There's another Slavic next to him, Hannes Slavic. He's from Austria. He is on the right. No relation to these dudes right here.
No relation, no love lost from what I can hear. Thomas Slavic, your former world champion four-course rider, BMX background. Both these riders opting to clip in, that comes from their racing background. They're out the gate. A little bit slow start from Slavic. Using that hop into the first berm as his technique versus Hannes using the manual. Coming into the final straight. Oh, Hannes is giving a proper run for his money.
Oh, but right at the end, Thomas Slavic edges out the Austrian by 0.05. Knuckles right there, but that's going to almost a dead heat, as you were saying.
It's all down to that second run.
So a good turnout for you right there. Thomas Slavic is happy with that. Now we go. Oh, now Adrien Lerone. There he is, fresh off that big win last week in Leger, and he's smiling right now. Needles,
booming with confidence. He knows how to get it done now.
All right, Adrien Lerone, he's on the right. Simon Waldberger from Switzerland, he is on the left. Here we go.
Adrien Lerone, riders left, manual into the first turn. Big pumps, manual after the tabletop. That turn that he just went through is very tricky. He's made it through there clean. Pushing hard to the finish, he's going to take that lead.
I tell you what, he is just one tough customer. Adrien Lerone, he's going to take the win there by 0.28.
It's not a man you want to match up in the round of 16.
But I mean, you've said it before, Needles. Anything can happen. So just one little thing off, and you're done.
That's a great thing with Pump Track. It kind of keeps anyone in the game right until that second round. Looking at the bracket around a 16, like you said, Bray, we've got to look at all the riders in yellow.
Yellow has the advantage. Cheney Ganay, Benedict Last, Kyle Strait, Barry Nobles, Noel Niedenberger, Dakota Norton, Thomas Slavic, and Adrian Lerone. All those men will have the advantage when they match up again for the second time. So what we do now is we get the riders back up at the gates and get them all ready to go again. That's right, your Raiffeisen Club Pump Track Challenge. It's presented by RockShox. The guys are talking about what's the strategy. We'll come back for the second run to the round of 16.
Because fast never goes out of style. Because epic rides should actually be epic. Because steep is relative. Code was designed to deliver massive power and predictable modulation for braking control when and how you want it, on the longest descents and under the burliest loads. Better, stronger, faster.
We all want to find our own path in life. Push past our fears, our daily twists and turns. If we keep going, something changes. That's when we find ourselves and realize there is no truer path.
Crankworx Innsbruck, brought to you by Whistler Mountain Bike Park. Love the feeling of being truly awake. Taking a look at the brackets right now, we've seen the first races of the round of 16 from all of the competitors right now, so let's break it down for you and just show you. Once again, let me remind you, the names in yellow, they already have the advantage. Now, whatever that advantage may be, 0.02, it doesn't matter, but they have the advantage from Cheney Ganay, Benedict Last, all the way down to the bottom right there. So we get ready for our next race here in our round of 16, and this is the second matchup between these guys right there. Cheney Ganay from France against Tom Scherer from Germany. Right now, the advantage is going to Cheney Ganay. Now, he's a former winner out here, Needles.
Yeah, winner last year, 2016 in Leger. Runner-up last week in Leger. I'm not a fan of his racing attire, but each to their own. Hot out the gate here in his hot pants. Into the first left here. That is a very tricky corner on that rider's left one, but he's made easy work of it. He kind of knows he can take it easy. He had 0.5 advantage. He's going to advance into the round of 8.
Well, he got the silver medal last week in Leger, so he's moving along just like he wanted to do to see if he can compete for that gold medal once again.
Yeah, maybe out for a bit of redemption after that loss, even on home soil. It's nice to see another Frenchman take it, but it's got to hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with it, but you know, that's not the way he'd like to have it, but silver medal's pretty darn good. Martin Soderstrom, now there he is, in that Red Bull helmet. You got black. Benedict Glass, remember, he's a winner at run number 1. I did not see that coming. Martin's got to make up .77, Needles.
Martin's really got to put out a heater here. That is a lot of ground to make up on a pump track. He's out the gate clean, but here he really needs to push using the manual technique. Over the tabletop. He's looking a little bit tight, I won't lie. Bit of a mess up in that turn as well. And he's behind. He's not going to make it up, Brad.
I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to do it. Martin Soderstrom has been eliminated just like that. The big Swede is done.
It's just how quick it can happen out here in pump track. So
Wow.
That's a big one up for the books. He's going home, doing an early shower. He'll get his vlog in early tonight, no problem there.
Hey, but a great showing out of him yesterday in speed and style. He did a great job out there, man. Amazing stuff out of Martin yesterday. Unfortunately, not good for him today. For Martin Soderstrom, he's done.
Make sure to pick me on the Crankworx Fantasy Challenge.
Where did Torquato come from right there, huh? Well, he said pick him for Crankworx Fantasy, and you can do just that. Now, look, Crankworx Fantasy is all about picking the team that you want to pick and the team that you think can win. And if you do win and you get all the names right, or close to all of them right, you do better than anyone else, you can win daily prizes. And that's the deal about it. You want to win the daily prizes because RockShox Pike DJ Dirt Jump Fork was up for grabs today, but tomorrow. Now, if you haven't picked your slopestyle team, Needles, have you picked your slopestyle team?
I'm going to get on it tonight because I was watching a bit of practice, doing my research today, so I hope you guys were online, checking what tricks are getting thrown down. I'm going to get it in tonight for tomorrow.
All right, well, we'll see about that. Get out there, Crankworx. Let's set it down to Tina Dixon with more. Tina?
So right now I'm hanging out with Martin Soderstrom, and for those of us who mountain bike, we want to know how you set up your fork. You know, you're out here in pump track, and it's obviously going to be a little bit different than how you set up your fork on a trail bike. So how do you break it down?
Yeah, first of all, for the pump track, we usually ride hardtails and not full suspension. So that's the biggest difference, because when you pump, you really don't want that suspension to take any of your energy forward. And then for the trail bike, I would say that we usually take down the pressure in the fork quite a lot, because when rocks and roots are hitting you, you really need that fork to move. On the pump track, it's usually a lot smoother. So yeah, for the trail bike, you definitely want to have it a bit softer and maybe turn the rebound a little bit quicker and the compression a little bit quicker as well.
Thanks for your time. There you go, guys. Some words of wisdom for Martin Soderstrom.
Well, he knows a thing or two about riding a bike, that's for sure. Martin Soderstrom has been eliminated here today, but right now we have Kyle Strait. There's Kyle Strait. He's on the right there in that black and those tan shorts, and you got the full kit over there next to him. That's Matt Walker from New Zealand. Here we go.
Kyle Strait nursing that knee injury, but looking strong on the bike here, taking advantage here into the second round. Matt Walker with a BMX background. He needs to lay down a fast back straight here, but Kyle Strait riding injured, but really solidly tonight.
Well, you saw the crash of Kyle Strait. This is his first competition he's competed in since he went down, and he's advancing on, so it's good to see him back on the bike and moving on.
Yeah, you know, often when you have an injury, it kind of gives you that subconscious excuse or that out. You know, hey, I'm just going to go out there, see how it goes, and kind of, you know, give yourself an excuse if you go out third round or whatever it may be. But sometimes that's when you have some of your best races.
Here's a guy right there, Keegan Wright. He has won it before. He did that in Rotorua back in March, but he's going against Barry Nobles. Barry Nobles is hungry. Not that he missed dinner or anything like that, but he does not have a pump track win, and he's got .33 over a guy who's already won it in Keegan Wright.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up racing BMX. He's a racer at heart. Yes, he's having fun on the mountain bike, but he wants to perform. Slippery salmon out the gate from Barry Nobles. Is it going to work? Keegan Wright, very consistent to that turn, which I watched in practice, was giving some riders some trouble. Barry Nobles with the advantage coming into the finish.
Oh, was that a little look back right there? Barry Nobles with a steezy look back at Keegan just to make sure that he had it right there.
That's a big win here in the round of 16 to take out a winner of round one, Keegan Wright. He's going home, Brad.
Well, you know, tough break for Keegan Wright, but I'll tell you what, Barry Nobles, he's doing what he needs to do. But I like the little look over that he gives there. Let's take a look at this here. Watch this.
Yes, he's carrying really good speed. He knows he's got the advantage. He does the big step up. How's it going?
Yeah.
Off you go, have a shower.
Yeah, what's it like being in second? I'm moving on, you're not. But Barry Nobles, I mean, like I said, he really wants to get his first pump track win. Could tonight be the night? We'll find out, because right now we move on to Mitch Pilato, old Niedenberger too. So USA versus Swiss, and you can tell, yes, that's actually Mitch Pilato. He's dressed to kill here today.
He is. He's really, really living the Austrian/German culture. I think it's an amazing, amazing feat from him. But anyway, back to the racing. He needs to get a bit more serious because he didn't have...
He's behind.
A little bit behind. He needs to push. He's got to get his wheel ahead. He's made up ground there, big time.
Mitch has done it right there. 0.48 the difference. That's going to make up the difference. And Mitch Pilato, the cardiac kid, moving on.
Yeah, it makes him the champion that he is. Previous winners, many podiums. He knows what to do when it counts.
It's got to be hard to wear those leathers, man. How do you... okay, Needles, talk us through Mitch. Let's take a look at Mitch's run here.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look back at Mitch. Like we said, one of the most skillful riders on a bike. Consistent out the gate. He's using the manual technique. He is so good at keeping that back wheel on the ground, not losing any energy. So smooth and calculated. I love his style. He's just got so much feel on the bike. Everything is just picture perfect.
And it's not over till it's over, because, you know, you saw what he did. He was behind into that second to last corner, but he made up the time right there. So now Dakota Norton and Austin Warren on this one. There's Austin Warren. He's got to make up 0.10. That's not much. Dakota Norton on the right-hand side with all black and the white helmet.
Yeah, so Dakota Norton bursting onto the scene back in 2015, winning the slalom. Can he keep his dream alive here tonight? Austin Warren looking good, looking comfortable. I think he's behind.
Oh, right down to the wire on that one. So Dakota Norton, the winner of that one, 0.22 the difference, and Dakota Norton will be moving on to face Mitch Pilato. Let's take a look here. The replays of that one, Dakota Norton doing his thing. So he'll be facing Mitch Pilato. Let's look at him. Let's look at his style here as he breaks it down, Niels.
Yeah, Dakota Norton opting not to use the manual. He's just keeping that front wheel on the ground as much as he can, pumping with both wheels versus the manual technique.
Well, let's check in with Tina Dixon, third member of our team, standing by. Tina?
Well, that's right. And Dakota took out a big winner from yesterday. Austin, you know, he definitely made a statement in the speed and style, but you're making a statement out here today. What's it like to go up against him?
Oh, Bubs is no joke. We've raced each other for years, and I know he spends a lot of time at his pump track at home, so he's a ripper. So, yeah, just moving through, just trying to keep climbing, and one lap at a time.
You know, you kept both wheels on the track there, too. It's a little bit of a different strategy. How would you explain that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will pump with the rear wheel and manual stuff, and I guess we're just trying to get everything out of it, like squeeze every little bit out of every pump. So, yeah, arms and legs, everything I can get.
Fun stuff. Have some fun tonight.
Thank you.
Guys.
Oh, and so amazing to see him do his thing, too. I mean, Dakota Norton, I still remember that year where he came out. I had no idea, Needles, who he was, and he came out and he showed that he can compete with all the big guys, and he's doing it here tonight. Next up, the battle of the Slovaks here. No, they're not related at all. Thomas Slavik, he's got an advantage by 0.05 in the Czech Republic against the Austrian Anna Slavik, who's on the left. Red Bull helmet, Thomas Slavik on the right, Anna Slavik on the left. Here we go.
And it's all down to this last heat. It was basically a dead heat, 0.05. There's nothing in that. Thomas needs to make up some ground if he wants to move on.
Oh, he's got
that lane
this.
is running really quick, the red lane in the last little section. He'll take that win, he'll advance, he'll go into the round of 8, bumping off Hannes Slavik from Austria. Unlucky for him, he's not going to race any longer in front of his home crowd, Innsbruck.
Let's take a look at here, right at the end here. Watch Slavik.
Slavik knows he had it there. He knows all he needs to do is get that front wheel just ahead of Hannes.
And the king of Crankworx, the standings for that one, Adrian Lerone, that top spot. But you look at Jakob Wenzel, he's going to be competing in a slope style tomorrow. He's in that third spot. Jack Moyer, he's got a chance in some DH. And then Adrian Lerone, he's on the top spot. And he's in the driver's seat for the king of Crankworx. And there he is right now, focused 100% at the task at hand. And that task being beating Simon Waldberger from Switzerland. Adrian Lerone on the left, all black.
Adrian Long, bit of a slow start there. He's booming with confidence after his win last week. What a smooth and calculated, and like we know, consistent rider. Coming into the final straight, he's got that wheel ahead. He knows what he needs to do.
And he did just that right there by 0.64. Adrian Lerone will be moving on. Simon Wahlberger is done for the day. And that's going to put Thomas Slavic and Adrian Lerone head-to-head when they match up in the semis. That's going to be a big one right there. Thomas Slavic and Adrian Lerone are going to be going at it. So taking a look at who's on the start right now. Well, that's Jill Kittner. That's right. Jill Kittner, and then you look over there. That is Kathy Kuipers from Germany on the right. Well, I'll tell you what, the number 1 against the number 8. Look, she looked over at Jill. Jill's like focused.
She's all game face. Number 1 qualifier. I got a little bit of info for you. She chooses to race in clips. That's obviously a race background from BMX. But she opts to practice the first session in flat pedals, Brad. She says it gives her a little bit more touch and technique and feel for the bike and the rollers. That's what makes Jill such a fierce competitor and a champion, because she's always thinking of outside-the-box techniques to practice at home, bring them to the racetrack.
Jill Kittner not disappointing in her eyes right now. It's funny because you see Jill Kittner straight-faced, and then she gets across that finish line first. She's all smiles. Lucia Oetjen now on the right from Switzerland. Well, Brett Hauer from Germany. And she's on the left in that purple kit right there, the Fox kit on the right. Lucia Oetjen.
Yeah, Germany versus Switzerland here. The gates are dropped. Out they go into the first turn. We'll see if we see any manual techniques here from the ladies. Looking quite even into that back berm there. They're coming into the final straight.
Oh,
just losing a bit of time there, Laura did.
Yeah, Oetjen's going to take the advantage on the 2 right there. And you looked at, she had a 4th place for Lucia Oetjen in Leger in 2016. So she was close to the podium. And you know she wants to get on the podium. Next up, Michaela Gatto, who you just saw right there. Geraldine Fink right here.
Great to see Michaela Gatto throwing her name in the hat here, doing a bit of pump track.
She didn't have the right bike in Leger. She said that's why she wasn't able to compete, but she's here today to do it.
Yeah, she's a former World Cup downhiller.
That's switched right there. It's
yeah, obviously viewers at home, that'll be switched. They'll get that up. And Michaela out the gate, little sluggish out the gate. She's got a wealth of experience in a lot of Crankworx events. Geraldine, though, keeping her honest here into the final straight here with the ladies. Looking like almost a dead heat, Brad.
Yeah, but it looks like Michaela Gatto, who we see right there in that gray kit, dark helmet, looked like she had the advantage.
She's looking back. She's wanting to know what's up with the time. So they've given her the advantage
there you
of
go.
run 1.
Yeah, that's correct now. Winner 1.
But only by a tenth. Is pretty much nothing in that. Will re-rack them. They'll go back for a second round. Obviously, they'll switch lanes.
Well, there is Caroline Buchanan right there. She gets ready, and people always ask, who's Caroline Buchanan? Well, let me show you who Caroline Buchanan is. That's a whole lot of medals right there, Needles. What's going on?
I've lost count.
I mean, from the BMX world, but she has done so much. Olympian, Whistler Pump Track, Rotorua Pump Track, took a win earlier this season in Rotorua. That's who Caroline Buchanan is.
An amazing, amazing all-round rider. She's opting to focus more on the Crankworx Festival and her mountain bike, doing downhill, all that sort of stuff, and still focus on BMX.
Via Veerbeek on the right with that black kit. Caroline Buchanan, that turquoise top right. Here we go.
Out the gate, Via, strong Canadian downhill. We'll see her tomorrow in the downhill. She's thrown her name here in the hat, like I said, in pump track. What a tough matchup for her to go up against Karen Buchanan in the first round for her. Caroline Buchanan, the 0.6 advantage. She also qualified second, just behind Jill Kittner.
So Caroline Buchanan, she's going to have the advantage on that one as they talk it out right there. So Jill Kittner in yellow. Once again, the yellow names mean they have the advantage. So she's got the advantage over Kathy Kuipers when they go at it. Lucia Ochin has the advantage over Laura Bredhauer. Michaela Gatto over Geraldine Fink. And Caroline Buchanan, who we just saw, over Via Veerbeek right there.
Yeah, obviously you've got that yellow. All you need to do is get that front wheel just ahead for that second round and you're through. So that's a nice place to be going into that second round.
And now we go back to the guys, the round of 8. So we went with the 16. Now we're into the 8 with the guys. That's Cheney Ganay. He's on the left in that green kit with the shorts. There you go. There's the matchups right there. Benedict Glass, Cheney Ganay, Kyle Strait versus Barry Nobles. They'll be coming up next.
Yeah, Benedict Glass with a big win over Martin Soderstrom. So
surprise.
He's riding hard. Yeah, surprise win nonetheless, but he's now up against number 2 qualified, Cheney Ganay.
And Cheney Ganay has won it before, so let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it's got a work cut out from here, but he's coming out fierce and hot into that turn that's caused riders some trouble. Cheney Ganay is fast down this back straight, but has he done enough?
Yeah, it looks like he's done it by 0.31. So advantage to Ganay on that one for the French rider. You're not keen with the shorts, with the short shorts and the green kit there?
Each to their own, but it looks like he's forgot to pack his riding shorts in. He's just brought his pajamas. But I can't hate on him because there's no ways I can go this fast around a pump track. This man is fiercely fast, very, very skillful rider, and a fierce competitor. Like we said, taking the win last year in Leger and already second.
Yeah, you know, he's made a name for himself for sure. You don't win pump track against the quality of riders out there and not make a name for yourself. And Cheney Ganay right there has done his part now. So there, remember we showed you the crash from Kyle Strait, and you see that ace bandage that on his left leg. So that's been hampering him a little bit. This is his first competition since that crash in Leger. So now we got Kyle Strait, and he's going against Barry Nobles. USA versus USA. Nobles on the right, Kyle Strait on the left.
Barry Nobles,
slippery
salmon out the gate, but Kyle Strait, the adrenaline starts taking over in with racing, so he's probably not going to feel any pain. I just hope he has enough strength in that knee to keep pushing hard.
So Barry Nobles, 0.36 over Kyle Strait. And you know what? Barry Nobles is on a mission. You know, Kyle Strait is not 100% at this point, but it's good to see him back on the bike, that's for sure. Well, Barry Nobles is going to have the advantage. Barry Nobles is really trying to get that win. And I'll tell you what, man, it is all about the Whistler Joyride VIP program. You want to get on there and come out there and be front row in Whistler? I'll tell you what, you can do it.
This is it, man. The big show that everyone watching. Crankworx World Tour.
Several dimensions are shaping victories. Distance.
He landed, brother, behind you!
Degrees of rotation.
Are you kidding me?
Time.
Can he keep it up? Just in time.
This year, Crankworx Whistler is shaping the next dimension. For accommodation and VIP package information, visit crankworx.com.
Crankworx.com/VIP. Sign up. $99. You got to do it before July 1st, but you can get in there and be front row in Whistler, Needles.
That is a place you don't want to miss. But before we get to Whistler, we're here in Innsbruck for the first time of multiple years.
Mitch Pilato on the left. I'm sorry. Dakota Norton on the right. USA versus USA here.
Mitch Pilato, Mr. Lederhosen. I hope he hasn't had too many beers before he's come on this pump track. Dakota Norton keeping him honest here. We saw Mitch how fast he was in that final straight. He's done it again here to a winner.
Oh my God.
0.33.
Mitch Pilato. And I got to think Mitch Pilato not only has a fresh outfit on, but he's got fresh legs too, because he did not compete in speed and style yesterday. He decided to take a break and focus just on this one. And that focus is a good thing, because now he has the advantage over Dakota Norton.
Great point, Brad. I think it's really, really smart of him to opt out of speed and style. He had a big knock to the head. Wants to keep it safe here. And like you said, he's got a lot of energy for pump track. Over to this matchup,
yeah,
Brad.
Holy crap on this one. You got Adrian Lerone on the right, Thomas Slavic on the left. Czech Republic's Thomas Slavic. France's Adrian Lerone. Adrian Lerone fresh off that win in Leger on home soil. Here we go. Adrian Lerone right. Slavic with that Red Bull helmet. Little slippery salmon on his own.
Yeah, they're all using the Barry Nobles technique, but it does actually work. You riders should try it at home. It's like when you're ice skating and you kind of bend your legs a bit. But anyway, Adrian Lalong, sorry. We're missing out on the race in here, but Adrian Lalong put in a stormy. He's got 0.29 over Slavic.
I think they're very evenly matched, those two guys, but when it comes down to it, Adrian Lerone has been the guy who's just trained so hard at it. Now, you've called it, Needles, a slippery salmon right here.
I have.
Now, what is that?
I've coined it the slippery salmon. What they're trying to do is generate speed by moving that front wheel left and right, kind of a bit of friction on the ground. I've used it a bit in the parking lot. The jury's out on whether it works or not, but obviously mentally they feel like they're gaining some speed.
Well, jury's not out on Adrian Lerone, or also Barry Nobles, who used that because he has the advantage too.
Yeah, Adrian Long is going to be very difficult to beat tonight. He's riding extremely, extremely consistent, which we see from him a lot. But I just like his kind of cool, calm attitude I see from him tonight. The demeanor he has. He's got that confidence from the win.
All right, let's take a look at the men's bracket so far here in our round of 8 and see how things are playing out. Cheney Guinea, advantage over Benedict Last. Barry Nobles, advantage over Kyle Strait. Mitch Pilato, advantage over Dakota Norton. And Adrian Lerone, advantage over Thomas Slavic. But they got to stack them and rack them and do it again, Needles.
Yeah, these semifinals, whoever gets through here, there's some big, big matchups. But before we get there, we've got to get them back up there. They're going to do a second round, switch courses, see the difference, who advantage.
Now time for the women to get back at it. And Jill Kittner with that Red Bull helmet, you can see her on the right. So she's climbing up on her bike. She has the advantage over Kathy Kuipers from Germany. A pretty big advantage too, but you got to expect that from Jill Kittner. She's won it more than anyone when it comes down to it. You look at what she's done. 11 podiums, 9 first place in pump track. What?
The ultimate queen of pump track. It's going to be very difficult to come and surpass those podiums and wins from her. But like we've said before, anything can happen and will happen in pump track, and this is only the round of 8 for the ladies.
And look,
second round.
It's 0.79. If Jill has a bobble here, there could be some trouble. So it's not over yet. Here we go.
So she stays low out the gate, almost choosing to sit and use that momentum out the gate. It's a new technique for me. So she's getting kept honest here, but she knows she has the advantage. She can maybe, like, you know, tone it down a bit, save some energy for the semi-final that's coming up, and hopefully the final for her.
Andrew, we say that about Jill, but I tried to talk to Jill about that. I go, it looks like you save energy on some of the lower ranks. She says no, but I disagree. I almost think she does save energy.
She's not going to give up any of her secrets, is she?
No, she
to
isn't.
you or to any of the girl competitors. But this is great to see the crowd getting involved, hopefully having some ruddlers out there. I mean, that's the name of the game of pump track out here.
Lucia Ochin from Switzerland. She right there, winner of run number 1 on the left. There's Laura Bratthauer, 0.17 in that purple kit. She's got to try and make up that 0.17. It's doable.
It is doable. They're out the gate, evenly matched, going over the tabletop into that left-hander. That is a tricky one on the rider's left lane. We have a big mistake from Laura. She will be out. She'll be going home early. Lucia with the win, and yeah, anyway, like we said, so we're going to go back, Brad. Let's see what happened with this mistake. We just saw off track.
Well, you
so
talked
she's
about
going over the tabletop. Then there's this left turn that is very awkward. She makes it through that. There's this next left. She's just not following she's got to focus more on looking more left when she turns in those turns. Her head was a little bit straight and the bike seemed to follow where her eyes were going.
And that's a tough situation right there. She is going to be done. Laura Bretthauer done on that one. Lucia Ochin will be moving on. But she does have to face Jill Kittner. So that's a tough cookie to get through.
Yeah, there's positives and negatives to all sorts of things in life, isn't it?
Yes, there is. Michaela Gatto on the right. She's got a positive .10, and she's got that over Geraldine Fink, who's on the left. There's Michaela Gatto right there. And that gray kit that she's rolling with.
Out the gate. They're into the first turn here. Keeping it pretty neck and neck over the tabletop. The left-hander coming to the final straight. What do we have in it, Brad? It's looking neck and neck.
Looks close right here. Geraldine Fink takes the edge on that one, .19, but I think Michaela had not enough to make it up, so Geraldine Fink has done it.
That is a tough pull to swallow, only by .09, not advancing for Michaela.
Michaela Gatto, who could not compete out there in Leger, didn't have the proper bike. She's got a new bike out here today, but not enough to be able to get through Geraldine Fink, so Geraldine Fink will be the one to move on. You can see the city of Innsbruck out there in the distance right there. Slope style tomorrow, new time for that. That's going to be at 12 o'clock our time. And one more to go here in the women's round of 8. Caroline Buchanan, there she is, turquoise on the right. Via Verbeek on the left. Slipped off that pedal right there. .60 she's got to make up, Needles.
Caroline Buchanan, all game face. Might see the same matchup we have as the first 2 races in Rotorua, but before that, there's a .6 advantage. Will she take it easy, conserve some energy? Was Via going to be able to put some pressure on her? She's looking a little ahead, but she's a little shaky coming on that final straight. She's keeping it very smooth. She knows she's got that advantage, and she'll advance. Via Verbeek, she's got another race tomorrow in the downhill. She's more focused on downhill, but comes out, has a great time for pump track. Like we said, that's the name of the game. It's fun first, trophy second, but depends if you're Jill Kitten or Caroline Buchanan.
Well, I think it's almost like a collision course between them as we get closer to seeing Caroline and Jill go at it. But here's how the guys are playing out right now. Chady Gaudet in that top spot. He's got the edge. Barry Nobles with the edge. Rowe Pilato with the edge. And Francis Adrian Larone with the edge. Now we take all of our attention back up top for this one. Chady Gaudet, the advantage from France. .31 over Benedict Glass from Germany. He's on the left, Cheney on the right. Here we go.
Yeah, Benedict Glass had that upset over Martin Soderstrom. Can he do it again and take out one of the top competitors here in pump track in Innsbruck? He needs to be pushing harder than that, and Cheney keeps the leg alive. I can't speak. But Benedict Glass is having a good time, jumps the step up. Chady Gaudet will advance.
And you kind of expect
straight
that
into the semifinals.
Well, you kind of expect that from him because he's really been showing how talented he is in just the last year and a half, Chady Gaudet. So, like you said, he's going to the semifinals. Benedict Glass is done.
Yeah, making a big name for himself. He's come out hot again. He's qualified fastest over Adrian Lalonde, so he's laid his cards on the table early.
The American battle here, Barry Nobles against Kyle Strait. .36 is what Kyle has to come back from.
Can he push through that injury? The pain shouldn't be too much of an issue. Like when you're racing and you're in that mode, adrenaline takes over, but the strength in that knee, will it hold through a run? Barry Nobles hot out the gate. Kyle Strait, can he hold on here? Can he push hard and get that time gap back?
Oh, look at this. Kyle making a shot at it at the end, making it close, but Barry Nobles will take the advance. And that means Kyle Strait is done for the day. And Kyle will be looking to talk to his doctor when he gets back and check that knee out. But let's send things down and get a word with Tina Dixon standing by. Tina?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Barry going up against Kyle there. It was neck and neck here at the end. Just walk us through that final part.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's no joke. He's a big boy, so I figured he might get a jump on me out of that start. But been around with Kyle and Mitch a lot more lately, so it's rad being out here and doing battle against them both.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I'm going to go let you catch your breath. Thanks.
All right there. So they finish it up right there. And you know what? You got to like what Barry Nobles is doing right now. He is trying to get his first ever pump track victory out here, Needles.
Well, he's into the semifinals, so he's guaranteed a slot at a medal here. But will it be a gold?
Dakota Norton right there. Black Shimano tee, and then you got Mitch Pilato.
Rocking what is lederhosen.
Mitch with the advantage by .33.
All right, fun and games, we'll leave them behind. We're back to the racing here. Mitch, big manuals here. Oh no, big crash from Dakota. He's more surprised than us at that, but he's okay. He's given a thumbs up. Mitch Pilato will advance.
So Mitch Pilato's going to head to the semifinals. We have got to see that once again.
I'm sure we will. Dakota Norton, I'm glad he's all right. He was just as taken aback as us with that crash. Came out of nowhere.
Seems like, yeah, like you said, he was quite surprised that happened.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's show you this look right here.
So he's running wide. Oh my goodness. So what's happened? He's come too hard into that turn. He's run wide. He's missed the roller. We're going to take an even closer second look. So he's missed the roller and he's just hit the backside of another roller. So he's not stayed on track. So that will happen for you.
He did not see that coming at all.
Full commitment, runs wide, thinks he can get back on track, but he's just hit the hard hedge of the other straight that's coming through.
There he is, Mitch Pilato. Hard to take Mitch serious. I know his riding is serious, but it's hard to take him serious.
Yeah, his skill in his riding is serious, but he is always having a good time. I love seeing that in pump track. We should see it more often.
Slavik on the right, Adrian Lerone on the left. Adrian Lerone with the advantage over Thomas Slavik from the Czech Republic in the Red Bull helmet. All black Adrian Lerone.
It's a big heat. This is to get into the contention for the medals, to get into the semi-final. Thomas needs to make up some ground here, but Adrian is not going to let that happen.
And all the way to the end, Thomas Slavik gets the edge on the second race, but not enough to make up the difference. So Adrian Lerone advances on.
Some big matchups coming up in the semi-final.
Now, if you're
Mitch Pilato against Adrian Lerone.
If you're just joining us, remember, this is a 2-run format. So if you get the edge in the first race, you have to make up that difference in the second race. And that's what we saw right there. We saw Thomas Slavik get the edge in that second one, but he was too far behind from the first one. So there you go. Semifinals are set. Jenny Gane in that top spot going against Barry Nobles, and Mitch Pilato battling it out against Adrian Lerone. Wow, here we go. We're getting into the thick of things now. Beautiful views out here. The semifinals for the women, that is already set. We're down to the final 4 for the women here. Andrew Needling and Brad Jay with you. There you go. There's Jill Kittner on the left. Lucia Ochin on the right. Swiss rider. Jill Kittner just needs to run her race, Needles.
She just needs to focus on herself. Excuse my language there. And that is what happens in pump track. If you start focusing on the other rider, that is when mistakes happen. So Jill, like you said, she just needs to focus on herself. She knows she's got the speed. She knows what she needs to do. And she's done just that. Heat number 1, taking advantage.
And by .54, that's a good amount right there for Jill Kittner. And once again, we keep talking about that collision course. Let's see if we can get a word in there. Let's send it down to Tina Dixon and get a word with Jill Kittner. Tina?
Well, you guys have been talking about it. I think everyone just expects Jill to win. But Jill, when you come to these races, what pressure do you put on yourself?
I put the pressure on myself to just ride as good as I can and get good pumps, look out of the corners. So beyond that, there's not much I can control. So
yeah. How is the track running right now?
Yeah, it changes from run to run a little bit in the corners, but it's running pretty good. It's fun.
Yeah, thanks. I can see you're having fun, guys.
Well, I think that Jill just likes to have fun when she's on her bike, Needles.
Yeah, but I mean, she does get fun out of winning. We know how competitive she is. I spoke to her. She was not happy with some of her downhill performances in Leger. She's extremely delighted to take the win in pump track, but she expects a lot from herself. So when she says, I want to ride as best I can, she does expect to win.
Caroline Buchanan now on the right in that turquoise shirt. Geraldine Fink, she is on the left. So white helmet, Caroline Buchanan, Geraldine Fink with that darker color helmet. Here we go.
Good starts out of both of them out the gate. I like what you said. They each got to focus on their own race here. Caroline can't get too ahead of herself and think about the finals or Jill Kittner. She's got to get through all these heats clean.
Boy, Geraldine Fink looked like she had the lead there, but Caroline Buchanan playing catch-up got back in front, and she'll take the advantage. So we keep talking about that collision course between Caroline Buchanan and Jill Kittner, and both of them have the advantage here in the semifinals.
That's how it's designed. You know, when you qualify first and second, first will go at the top of the bracket, second will go at the bottom, and if it goes according to plan, we get that ultimate final that we've had in the last 2 rounds of the Crankworx World Tour.
Well, the men's semi is ready to go. They have yet to match up against each other. Cheney Ganay, there he goes. He's going to go against Barry Nobles out of the U.S. Another American in Mitch Pilato. He's going against the French rider, Adrien Lerone. So USA, France, USA, France. It comes down to it just like that.
And we could be seeing a repeat of last week's final.
Oh my goodness.
All French final in Innsbruck. But what is Barry Nobles and what is Mitch Pilato going to say about that? We'll find out now.
Barry Nobles wants to win no matter what. He's not done it in pump track. This is his time to do it if he's going to make it happen. Barry Nobles on the right. Cheney Ganay from France. He's won it before. He was silver in Leger. On the left, here we go.
Both these riders opting for flat pedals from the BMX background, but even Barry Nobles, from what I can see, looks like he's on flat. Cheney Ganay pushing hard down the straight. He's going to take that advantage into the second round.
And Barry Nobles getting a little sideways right there at the end. I think we need to take a look at that ending from Barry Nobles. It seems like he kind of got a little mixed up there. But it shows Cheney Ganay with the advantage. Let's take a look at the ending and show you what we're talking about here. Take a look at Barry Nobles here.
So they're coming into the final straight. They're both pushing so hard. Cheney Ganay with the advantage. Oh, Barry Nobles running wide, having to drop a foot there. He does stay on track though, so the normal advantage that Cheney amassed in that run will count.
Oh, this is the same battle that we saw in Leger between these two guys. Adrien Lerone on the right, and then Mitch Pilato on the left. Look at this. This is what happened in Leger just only a week ago.
Yeah, let's take it back. Adrien Lerone in front of hometown crowd. Mitch was caught sleeping out the gate, and he was just a bit behind on this final straight, and Adrien would knock him out and go on to take that gold medal.
And you got to give it up for Mitch because he went on and he came away with the bronze medal.
Yeah, he matched up against Eddie Masters, who had some surprise victories, making it all the way to this bronze medal lineup. But Mitch, enough fooling around. He was on it. He wanted that medal. Bronze it was.
Eddie Masters, though, he really showed that he can do this too as well. Fourth place against a lot of heavy competitors. Big props to him, but Mitch Pilato taking that bronze medal out there. So here we go. Mitch Pilato, Adrien Lerone. Rowe Pilato on the left. Adrien Lerone, all black, all business on the right.
What do we have here? No more fun and games with the lederhosen. Mitch really needs to put down. Oh, he's made a bobble and a mistake there. I don't know if he can make that up. Adrien, how he's looking, but Mitch is extremely fast. Adrian's going to take the advantage.
Well, you can't make a mistake, but that's not by much. 0.15. You got to wonder, Needles, if Mitch doesn't have that little mistake that we saw, that could be a turnabout right there.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Mitch's time and that small that he's going to make up here. And when we come back, we're going to see the second runs of these men's and the ladies. Time there.
So we did see that little bit of a bobble, and they were so close that you almost got to think that that might have been just a dead heat with these two guys. Because look how Mitch made a race of it at the end, even with the bobble.
Yeah, he's making some good time in that final straight all the way to the finish line. He's done it in some previous heats, and there he did it again. He made some ground back there on Adrien Lerone. So who knows what's going to happen in that last round.
Big ups to Innsbruck, because Innsbruck, Austria is such an amazing place, and this truly is a destination when it comes to mountain biking out here, because this is the place to be. You got to come out here to Innsbruck, Austria.
Innsbruck. What an amazing place to bring your bike. It's a big city, Brad, but within minutes, you're out in the amazing Alps, amazing altitude, great trails, diverse scenery. I love what they're doing to mountain biking and how much they're wanting it to grow.
Well, Crankworx has a multi-year deal, so we're going to be back out here in Innsbruck. Cool riding. This place is definitely on the come up. And it's, I'd almost call it a slice of awesomeness out here in Innsbruck. I mean, Bike Park Innsbruck is something to be reckoned with in the future.
It's new, but they are developing trails on a daily basis, and we know what they've got planned in the future with this multi-year deal, and we know we're going to come back, and it's only going to grow.
And it's almost like you have a complete, an empty canvas of what you can create for biking here in this ultimate destination.
Yeah, the terrain up there is ridiculous. I was out walking the downhill track. The forest and the undergrowth is amazing. They got huge potential, huge altitude, big mountains, and a great city to have dinner afterwards, go have a radler, have a beer, whatever tickles your fancy.
I'll tell you what, the women's bracket is stacking up kind of like the way we thought it would. Jill Kittner has the advantage over Lucia Ochin right there, and then Caroline Buchanan the advantage over Geraldine Fink. So now we see Jill, all business right there. She's got the advantage over Lucia Ochin from Switzerland. So Kittner on the right, 0.54. Lucia's got to make that up if she wants to advance.
Jill Kittner out the gate with her technique, kind of seated, pushing forward there. All she has to do is run that clean race, and she's through to the final. And who do we think she's going to see there? None other than Caroline Buchanan, if she can keep it together in her heat coming up. But Jill Kittner, not taking anything away from Lucia. She's been riding amazing today. Qualified faster. She was always going to be difficult to beat.
Yeah, there was no doubt about it. And you know what? Can we take a look at her? Let's take a look at her start if we could right now, because her start, it seems like she just pushes that bike through the gate when that gate opens up. Take a look at Jill.
Yeah, so she's crouched over the front. The head is over the front of the bars. And your body and your bike follows your head, so she's going with that technique.
So you see how she does it. It's like she just sees that gate, anticipates the gate, and shoves those bars forward.
Great BMX background and technique. She's always, like we said, she's thinking outside the box.
Right there again.
She's doing something different to everyone else.
It's the little things that she does that puts her where she's at today.
Yeah, so those little things puts her ahead of the other competitors, and in pump track, it's such a short race, so it's those fine tenths that add up.
Now let's watch this one very closely. Caroline Buchanan with the advantage here. If she continues to take care of business against Geraldine Fink, she will match up for Jill Kittner, the battle for the gold. There's Caroline Buchanan. She's all focused 100%.
That's just over half a second in the lead. She has to focus on her race. Can Geraldine put some pressure on her, make a mistake or something? That's what she needs. Neck and neck coming out those turns, just into the final straight. Caroline Buchanan looking smooth. She's taking the lead in that and obviously advances.
Now we got to take a look at Caroline Buchanan here, because I want everyone to really see the start of this race where she doubles up going into the bank. And if we could show you, that's something Caroline Buchanan's doing. None other, I don't see any of the women doing what Caroline Buchanan is doing.
No, even some of the men aren't doing it. They're opting to manual. Let's take a look, Brad, like you said.
Watch Caroline here.
She's in the first turn. Look closely. She's over the roller, and she opts for the little hop into the turn.
Right in that transition.
Great technique. Probably learned it from Barry Nobles. We know he's probably doing that.
All right, well, let's check in with Tina Dixon standing by in the mix. Tina, what's happening?
Yeah, you guys, we haven't seen a lot of riders, Caroline, do that double up. They were just talking about it. We were actually looking at the replay. So where did you see that coming from? How did that come about?
I was practicing it in practice. I'm a BMX racer, so you know, I prefer jumping the manualing and just feeling comfortable out there and playing with the bike and keeping it fun. And I love the crowd and the vibes, so keep it going.
Yeah. Okay, so the serious question. You have a win. You have a second. How bad do you want to get back up on the podium?
Yeah, really bad. I think, you know, I lit a fire in the first one. She lit a fire the second one. So, you know, it all comes down to this final, and this is what it's all about. It's head-to-head, it's battle. We've got great rivalry, and I know we're going to put on a good show.
All right, there you guys go. It's going to be a rivalry.
Well, that rivalry has been determined. Take a look at this Olympic-rich history here. You're taking a look at that. That's the ski jumping venue. I mean, numerous Olympics have been out here. So much rich history in the wintertime. But Crankworx, we're making history in the summertime right now.
Crankworx is helping do that. Tourism is on board. Innsbruck Bike Park that we're hosting this event. It really is going to become an even bigger mecca than it already is for mountain biking.
So taking a look right here, here's how it's looking for the guys. Cheney Gane, he's got the advantage over Barry Nobles, and Adrian Lerone has the advantage over Mitch Pilato. So now we've put him up there again and have him do it again. Can Barry Nobles make up the difference over Cheney Gane? It's only 0.31 the difference here, Needles.
Yeah, Barry's hyping the crowd. He wants some support, and he's going to need it. Slippery salmon out the gate, but Cheney opting for the normal manuals through those.
Look at Barry.
What is Barry doing? He looks for, oh no, that's a big mistake from Barry.
No!
That is all she wrote, fans.
Barry Nobles was doing it right there in a big way, and I'm not sure what happened on that one with Barry Nobles, but he looked solid out of the gate.
He's going to be bitterly disappointed. He had a good gate. He was looking fast coming down that final straight, pushing way too hard. Big mistake from him, and that was all she wrote. He'll still come back for the bronze medal match, but Cheney Gane straight into the finals, and who will he match up against?
And I'm not sure what happened to Barry Nobles on that, but let's look.
Oh,
there it is.
He's come out of that turn and he slipped a pedal before the roller, opting for flats, and it maybe's gone against him. So let's look at it again. Roller. He comes out of the right turn. He's just misplaced his pedal and he couldn't lift his front wheel, and he's bonked that roller, and that's done.
I think that cost him it right there, because I think he had enough advantage to make up the difference.
Yeah, so he was super committed, and that foot has just slipped slightly on that pedal, and that's the key.
All right.
So sometimes clips is the way to go. That's the pedal of choice for Adrian Lerone.
Let's do a Crankworx rewind and take a look at the matchup between Adrian Lerone and Cheney Gane. This is the all-French final that we had in Leger here.
Yeah, all-French final back in Leger just a week ago. Home crowd going crazy for Adrian Lerone, the king of consistency. And he did just that. He proved that he can win at this event. He didn't win since 2015?
Yeah. It's been a couple years for him since he got back on it, but now it's Adrian Lerone. But he's still got to get through Mitch Pilato. He does have the advantage, but 0.15, that's a dead heat right here.
Yeah, and we saw Mitch with that little bobble he had in his first heat and made up some ground. Mitch out the gate fast. He's been struggling with his starts from last week. It's clean through the section that gave him trouble. This is where he needs to put on the gas, in which he's done before. He's got a wheel ahead.
Look at Mitch Pilato by 0.33. That's going to do it. Mitch Pilato has moved on. He's going to be battling for the gold. Adrian Lerone is going to be battling for the bronze.
That is a big, big win, and we can't say upset because Mitch Pilato came out last week not feeling himself, qualified fastest, and put himself in a bronze medal. But this week...
Well, and Mitch Pilato, to his defense, he's got 6 podiums and 4 first places. He owned Pump Track when it first started. Take a look here.
Yeah, he was good out the gate, what he struggled with last week, so it's good to see him tidy that up. Through the tabletop section, very clean compared to his first run. And this is where he puts the heat down. You're going to see him come. 3 rollers. Last left turn, and this final straight, he's so quick, just choosing to manual. Like you said, sorry Brad, but I mean, he's just a former winner, and we know when he puts his mind to it, he's just so difficult to beat on Pump Track.
Well, I feel like he owned it when we first started doing it in Whistler, because he ripped off 3 first places in a row. And then it seems like the competitors started catching up to him, and people started racing more of him. Now Mitch Pilato, the outfit's not hurting him. Take a look at it right now. The battle for the gold is set. Cheney Gane, the French rider, going against Mitch Pilato from the U.S. Barry Nobles from the U.S. going against French rider Adrian Lerone. So USA, France for the gold, USA, France for the bronze.
Great matchups coming up, Brad.
Oh my goodness. You can see Barry. He's still in it, man. Well, the fans are into it too. One of the best crowds I've seen in the Pump Track Challenge coming out here, man. They're representing.
We're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new Sram GX Eagle Drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle. The new Pike is lighter with an all-new trail-focused chassis. Gives you more control with its new Charger 2 damper. And new remote options for ultimate efficiency. Feels more supple with its new Debonair spring. Is stiffer for better steering authority. And offers increased tire compatibility. This is the new Pike. An even better benchmark.
Crankworx Innsbruck, brought to you by Raiffeisen. Raiffeisen, your bank and partner in Austria. Oh, amazing stuff going on, Needles. Pleasure to be working with you, but man, we ain't done yet, because now we get to see what the ladies have in store, the women have in store for us for the battle for the gold, the battle for the bronze, man.
It's what we thought might happen. We have a rematch of the last 2 rounds of the Crankworx World Tour.
Let's check in with Tina Dixon before we get this thing started. Tina?
Thanks, guys. So if you haven't heard already, a quick update. The slopestyle competition has now been moved up 1 day. It will be held Saturday, June 24th, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and that will also be on Red Bull TV. Now, there was weather forecasted on Sunday, so they decided to move it up a day, and I talked to the athletes to get their input, and Simon Godziak said, that's even better. I'm excited to ride. Remember, these guys have already been here. About 2-3 weeks, we had Leger in just less than a week ago, so they want to carry that momentum into the slopestyle competition tomorrow. Keep it going. They're hungry to ride. So tomorrow, Saturday, June 24th at 12 o'clock on Red Bull TV.
Thank you, Tina. And the funny thing is, I talk to the slopestyle riders too, Needles, and they're all about like, we want our Saturday night off. We want to just go big here in Austria and have a great Saturday night. For them, this caters right to what they want to do.
I think they've earned that. You know, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of adrenaline pent up. They're like caged animals. So, yeah.
All right. Bronze medal round. Geraldine Fink on the right. Switzerland, Lucia Ochin on the left. So Swiss versus Swiss here.
Yeah, this is for a bronze medal, Brad. We cannot count out the importance of this matchup here. Dead even out the gate. Geraldine, she's looking solid through all her runs. Also even, this was going to be exciting coming down the final stretch here. What have we got in here? There's not a lot in it, Brad.
Looks pretty close, but Geraldine Fink's going to take the advantage by 0.23. So 0.23, the advantage. Geraldine Fink's going to have a Lucia Ochin. Both from Switzerland. The battle for the bronze. And that's pretty close, 0.23, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Lucia, as far as I know, in some of these events. So it's nice to see some new faces. Or people that focus on more European-based races. Nice to see them at a Crankworx event.
So taking a look, the men coming up for you. Barry Nobles, Adrian Lerone. Battling for the bronze. Wait, Adrian Lerone battling for a bronze? Not battling for gold?
And not even going to get his consistent second place here. Best he can manage tonight is a 3rd place. But he's got to get through Barry Nobles if he wants that medal.
Oh, and Barry Nobles, this could be, seriously, a gold medal matchup between these guys. So Adrian Lerone, there he is on the right, all black helmet. Then you got Barry Nobles, black with the black and white helmet there on the left. Here we go.
Barry Nobles, his own unique technique out the gate, but Adrian Long, they're both going to be angry they're not in the final. There's going to be some fierce testosterone coming down this final straight. Barry Nobles riding super fast.
Look at Nobles reaching down deep, and that one pulling it out and taking the advantage over Adrian Lerone.
That is a good little advantage to have over Adrian Long. You want any advantage you can get over a man like Adrian. High off confidence from last week.
All right, well, let's take a look at Barry Nobles here. Here's a look at him on the left.
He's choosing to wiggle that front wheel, trying to get a bit more momentum into first three rollers. Not even using Caroline's jump technique. He's opting to manual here. Feels like he can gain more forward momentum from the manual into the turn and set himself. Big manuals, BMX background. This is where he had that problem. He keeps it clean all the way to the finish, and he takes that little advantage into the next round.
Amazing stuff out of Barry Nobles, but he's still got one more to go. And, you know, we've seen the bobble before. We've seen the bobble out of these guys, and it can happen. So Barry Nobles, it's not over yet. That bronze medal is not around his neck as the sun has been setting out here in Innsbruck, Austria. Andrew Needling and Brad J here with the call. Crankworx World Tour stop. Number 3 out here. Now, championship round for the women. Talk about the rivalry between these two right here. Flash this thing back.
So, we were all the way back to Rotorua, and this is where Caroline Buchanan, not with a big surprise, we know how good she is, but she took that win over Jill Kittner. Then, let's rewind to last week here in Leger. Jill Kittner went home, did her homework. She came out very, very prepared here in Leger. She had a great race on not such a technical track, but she laid down that power on the final straight. She took back that gold medal.
And the thing is, it looks like the margin of difference between both those races was about the same. When Jill won, it was about the same over Caroline. And when Caroline won, it was about the same over Jill. So here we go. Race 1 of 2. The battle for the gold medal now. Jill Kittner on the left. Caroline Buchanan on the right.
Jill Kittner with her very interesting technique at the start. Has it worked? Pretty neck and neck here. Last turn, now into the final straight, over the tabletop. Jill's pushing. She's got a wheel ahead, though. Or has she?
Or has she?
Looked like she lost a bit of time. Is it a dead heat? We're waiting for the timing confirmation, Brad.
Well, can they both win? We're getting word same time right there. So completely dead even. Now let's take a look at the start here. Watch Jill. Boom, pushes it through.
Yeah, I think she was a little slower than she wishes to get out that gate. Then both of them coming into that final turn. There was a little bit of hesitation from Jill. I don't think she was quite ready to anticipate that gate. But both of them rode cleans races. Let's take it to the finish, Brad. I mean, it was a dead heat.
So it seems like Jill just lost a little bit right there at the end because it looked like she still just had a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, she had a little lead over that tabletop, and it looked like she made some sort of error and she lost a bit of momentum. She didn't carry that much speed over the finish line, so she had a little issue, little bobble just before the finish.
But how evenly matched. Talk about the rivalry with those two. They're going to be come up in the second matchup, but let's look at these guys right here. Mitch Pilato, Cheney Ganay now. Mitch Pilato on the right. This is the battle for the gold medal, 1 of 2 races. Who's going to get the advantage? Cheney Ganay, there he is on the left-hand side. Mitch Pilato. The outfit speaks for itself here on the right.
It does. One's ready for bed, the other one's ready for a party, but we got racing on our hands here. Cheney Ganay, winner before, runner-up last week. Mitch Pilato, out the gate clean. He's consistent to this first section of course. They are dead heat through that turn. This is where Mitch has really turned up the heat, but what does he have here in the final?
Oh! 0.01? Are you kidding me? That's a dead heat too right there.
Yeah, I mean, if we saw a dead heat in the ladies' final, I mean, this is basically a dead heat. 0.01, there's nothing in it. It's all to play for in the second round.
I mean, you know what? Mitch comes out dressed like the waiter that served me schnitzel last night in that outfit, and he's coming out and he's battling for the gold medal.
Yeah, that is amazing to see. I love how he's living the culture of Innsbruck. Coming over from America, he's not scared of the schnitzel and the Radler.
So look at him right here.
So dead even out that turn. There just wasn't anything in it. Very similar techniques. Mitch, such a solid rider, using the manual technique. There's not a lot of gaps that he's going for compared to how he normally rides a pump track. A little slip there on the back wheel as he came into the final straight, there on the hill. It's not as much momentum as he wanted to carry up that hill.
But, I mean, the difference could have been 0.01 in his favor if he doesn't get that. Just a tiny little bit of a slip right there. So back over to the final races for the women. Well, you notice that Jill Kittner and Caroline Buchanan, there's no yellow there, and they've already raced. Why is there no yellow? Because they're dead even. Exact same times they cross the line. So when they go at it, there's no advantage for any one of them.
Brad, we're getting word in that Jill is actually up by 6 1,000s, but I'm not sure they gave that to us on the screen because what does that matter? I don't even know what that number means.
I don't even... Yeah,
so we got word in, but it doesn't really help Jill's cause.
I failed math. Here we go. Now we take a look at Lucia Ochin from Switzerland. And you're going against Geraldine Fink, also from Switzerland. 0.23. Geraldine Fink has the advantage here.
So bronze medal going to Switzerland tonight. But who is going to have it around their neck, Geraldine or Lucia? Out the gate they are.
A little bit of
clean
a
starts from both of them. Not a lot of manual technique using all these skills, opting to just pump with the front wheel as well as the back. Here they come. Lucia looks like she's got a gap.
The winner by 0.15. So what does that mean? Not enough to make it up. So that means Geraldine Fink will come away with the bronze medal.
That's exciting. We haven't seen her at many of these Crankworx events. Clearly racing on the European circuit more than the World Tour. But great that we've got a Crankworx coming to Innsbruck for the first time, hopefully the first of many.
Unbelievable right there. Now we go back over to the men here. Barry Nobles with the advantage. Yeah, no, I did not make a mistake there. Barry Nobles with the advantage over Adrian Lerone in the battle for the bronze medal. Cheney Guinea advantage over Mitch Pilato, but that thing's so close. It's only 0.01 between those guys. That's almost just a dead heat on its own. But this is the one right now. This could be the gold medal matchup. Barry Nobles, there he is. White and black helmet on the right. There's Adrian Lerone, the French flyer, all black. But he's got some time to make up, Needles.
And Adrian Lerone doesn't want to be caught sleeping here. He needs King of Crankworx points as well, leading that charge. Out the gate, Barry Nobles is slippery salmon. Quick to the first turn. Little bobble there. I'm not sure if he's going to be happy with that. Into the final straight here. What do we have here? Oh, there's a big mistake from Adrian. Barry Nobles.
Barry Nobles crosses the line right there. 1.25 advantage. And Barry Nobles is going to come away with the bronze medal here today.
He'll be happy with that. We know, like you said, he was pushing hard to get into that final, even take down one of his first wins. But bronze has got us feel pretty good right now as well.
Well, you know what? He didn't get the gold medal, but he came away with the bronze. Let's check in with Tina Dixon. Tina?
Yeah, well, Barry's getting a congratulations from Caroline, who still has to compete. But Barry, going up against Adrian, I mean, that could have been a gold medal match.
Absolutely. In my head, that was a gold medal match. Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, Adrian's obviously champ for a reason. So, yeah, winning that, I never, being BMXer, we don't have B finals, so I don't want to, it's hard to race a B final, but like I said, that was just like a final, so I treated it as one, and back on the podium is all I need.
Yeah, well, congratulations on finishing there. Adrian, what happened there at the end?
You know, when you're fighting for the win and you have to fight for the third place at the end, it's hard to stay focused. I think I just lost a bit the rhythm. And Barry was super fast. Everybody, the top 5 is super fast, so it's one time you win, one time you lose.
Yeah, well, it was a great match either way, guys.
It just shows how evenly matched these guys. Hey, miss a beat, lose the rhythm, and that's what happened to Adrian Lerone, but he can hold his head high, 4th place, solid finish, but a medal going around Barry Nobles' neck with that bronze color to it. So that's great. For the bronze, we've decided it for the women, we've decided it for the men. But what we haven't decided, who's coming away with the gold? Is it going to be Jill Kittner? Can she beat Caroline Buchanan? Or for the guys, who's it going to be? Mitch Pilato or Cheney Guinea? Well, you'll find out when we come back.
Because fast never goes out of style. Because epic rides should actually be epic. Because steep is relative. Code was designed to deliver massive power and predictable modulation for braking control when and how you want it, on the longest descents and under the burliest loads. Better, stronger, faster.
We all want to find our own path in life. Push past our fears, our daily twists and turns. If we keep going, something changes. That's when we find ourselves and realize there is no truer path.
Crankworx Innsbruck, brought to you by Kenda. Kenda tires since 1962. And by Sram. Sram, the power of bicycles. Oh, it's amazing. You can hear the crowd is going off. We're going off here in the booth, Andrew Needling and Brad J, because this is down to the gold medal matchup. Caroline Buchanan almost dead even in their first matchup against Jill Kittner. Let's take a look at that first one, show you just how close that first matchup was.
So each with a win. One in row to row by Caroline Buchanan. Leger, Jill bounces back. In this first heat, they were really consistent into that berm. Then they had the final straight to navigate. Pushing hard. Jill didn't carry that much momentum up this hill. I'm not sure what happened, but we were told 6 1,000 of a lead is nothing.
That's nothing. I'm just calling this, yeah, it's basically first across the line is going to win. So Jill Kittner on the right. They're dead even in the series for pump track. Caroline Buchanan from Australia on the left.
It's all to play for here, Brad. This is the only run that counts. The second of two, with basically a dead heat in the first. They're racked and ready. Jill, out the gate. Was it a slip by her? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, it looks
into
like
the first
she's
turn.
behind.
She's riding high in that turn, trying to carry in some momentum. Can we see Caroline Buchanan pushing hard? But Jill's got the wheel, I think.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm not sure.
No, by .03, Caroline Buchanan has crossed the line, and she's coming away with the gold medal. Jill Kittner with the silver on that one. What a race right down to the wire needles.
Amazing two runs by those two ladies. Basically dead heats, both of them. Caroline Buchanan bouncing back from the second last week and taking what a big win for her. That's all to play for the series coming down to Whistler.
Boy, I tell you what, it is what a big deal. So Caroline Buchanan, yes, she grabs the gold. Jill Kittner will take the silver. But Caroline Buchanan, this is going to be a collision course for the final competition in Whistler. Let's check in with Tina Dixon, standing by with Caroline. Tina.
Yeah, congratulations, Caroline. Wow, you guys were tied going into that race. Coming up here, people were saying it's Jill, it's Caroline. What were you thinking?
Honestly, the same thing goes through my head every time I race Jill. It's all comes down to that mindset, and it seems to be it always comes down to that final little bit. So, you know, that's the most exciting part, to come up here, to have the adrenaline, to lay it all out in the line and just stay in the moment. And I love a crowd. Australia, you're awesome.
Yeah, now you still have one more Crankworx pump track, and that's in Whistler. How much are you looking forward to that, and what can we expect there?
Yeah, I'm stoked to come into the last round. I'm going to put the mountain bike down for the next month, focus on the BMX World Championships in America, and then hopefully come off a buzz there and come into Whistler strong.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy this win. Everyone, your Pump Truck Challenge winner, Caroline Buchanan.
Oh, man, I tell you what, you got to believe right now in Caroline Buchanan. She believes because she took the win, and it's going to come down to Whistler to decide the series. Take a look at it right now, how things are going with the Pump Track Series. Jill Kittner, 350 points in that second spot, 50 points above her, Caroline Buchanan. What is going to happen when we go to Whistler Needles?
It's all down to play in Whistler, but that's a little while away. Before we go there, we have the main event in the men, Brad.
Let's take a look here. We got Mitch Pilato and Cheney Ganay, and Cheney with the advantage by 0.01. It's almost even here.
Again, such a dead heat. Both riders opting to manual here through the tabletops, into the left turn and right turn for each rider. Final straight. This is where Mitch has been riding very well, but he made a little bit of a slip with a back wheel there, and I don't think he carried as much momentum into the finish line as previous rounds.
Well, now it just comes to this. 0.01 the difference. That's nothing. Now, if Mitch Pilato can have absolute perfect race here, he could come away with the gold. Cheney Ganay on the right with the advantage. Mitch Pilato on the left. 0.01 the difference here today.
And we're off into the final here. First run was a dead heat. It's all down to this run. Riders need to be clean. And they're doing just... Oh, there's a mistake from Mitch. I think he's out of it. Cheney Ganay running super inside as well.
I said
Cheney Ganay takes it.
I said it before. If you have a mistake, you're not going to be able to do it. You needed a perfect one right there. But Cheney Ganay had a solid run, and he comes away with the gold. And Mitch Pilato has the silver, so he can hang his head high.
There's no holding back in Pump Track. It's such a short race. You've got to give it everything. Mitch with a little mistake, but let's give it down to Tina from our champion.
Let's check in. Tina Dixon, go.
Yeah, I am with the champion, Cheney. What a day, what a race there. But just what did you want to prove tonight in the Pump Track event?
Nothing. I just here for fun, for do my best. So I'm really happy to win tonight.
Let's talk about that, because I come to this event and it's fun, it's very relaxed, but there is that competitive side as well.
Yeah. All rider are relaxed to when waiting for the race, but when it's a race, stay focused and start.
Yeah, that strategy paid off. Congratulations, guys.
Well, he's done it before. Cheney Ganay won in Leger in 2016, so it's not a fluke that he's up there too as well. And you look, he got the silver medal in France last week, so he's a guy that we're going to be taking a look at for a long time, Andrew Needling, that's for sure.
I mean, that's 3 stops on the World Tour and 3 different winners in the men's category.
They're becoming so evenly matched here. So your Pump Track Challenge here, the World Tour, look at the gap that Cheney Ganay has closed now. He's in that second spot. Mitch Pilato, he's right behind him, 225. Then you got Cheney with 250, and Adrian Lerone still holding that lead with 300 right there.
Yeah, it's all to play for this series title that will go down to the wire in Crankworx, in Whistler, in a couple weeks' time.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to decide the series champion when it comes to Pump Track. Well, let's just take a look. You got Jill Kittner, so she's been in the lead for the queen of Crankworx, trying to defend that title. And here how's the point gap has closed now. Caroline Buchanan not too far behind there, 475. Jill still got a commanding lead with 540. Emily Seigenthaler, she's fallen off in that 3rd spot. So it looks like the queen's going to come down to those 2 right there.
That it will, and we've got so many events coming up in Whistler. A couple more downhills added. We've got dual slalom that these ladies will compete in. So it kind of all comes down to those final few events in Whistler, and that's how it's all designed.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you could see kind of the dejected look in Jill Kittner's eyes right there. She's not happy about not taking the win out here today, but that'll focus her even harder. Let's look at how the king of Crankworx is stacking up. Well, Thomas Slavic, he was the current one from last year. He's down there in the 6th spot, but Adrian Lerone, 475. He's still got a 125-point lead over Jack Moore, but he's coming up in DH too as well. So
exactly that, Brad. Jack's got a chance tomorrow to make up some points on that.
And that's how you got to do it. Well, slopestyle has changed. It was settled for Sunday, but slopestyle Saturday is the plan. That's going to be 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join us for Crankworx Innsbruck slopestyle. Final thoughts, my friend Andrew Needling.
3 races, 3 different winners. That's what makes Pump Track so exciting. I loved seeing Mitch throw his name in the hat, get to the final, but what a race by Cheney. He bounces back after the second last week, puts it straight in the gold medal this week.
Well, congratulations are in order. Geraldine Fink with the bronze, Jill Kittner with the silver, and Caroline Buchanan answering back with a big win out here in the Pump Track Standing Series. So that's going to be tough to see that one go down at the end here in Worcester. Then you look at Adrian Lerone fourth, Barry Nobles with a bronze medal, Mitch Pilato taking the silver, a couple Americans in the top 3, and the French rider Cheney Guinet handling it in a big way. Well, an amazing time, the Sights and Sound. Join us tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Red Bull TV will be the action for slopestyle. On behalf of our entire Crankworx crew, thanks for tuning in. Also on behalf of Tina Dixon and Andrew Needling, I'm Brad J. Good night now from Innsbruck, Austria, Crankworx.
Hier, gute Siegerehrung. Aber noch 2.